The field of industrial organization, or IO for short, underwent a revolution in the 70s whereby the tools of game theory were used to study strategic situations involving a small number of players, in this instance firms choosing prices or other strategic variables. Then what we sought to do was quantify the various forces which the theory had identified to see how important they were. So in other words, bringing the theory to the data and devise methods to test for collusion, say, or other sorts of strategic behavior. Yeah, the leading example is probably offshore oil and gas lease auctions, whereby the strategic variable of the firms that participate in these auctions is to decide how much to bid for those leases. The game theory models are quite sophisticated, and so a real issue is whether or not the behavior of the firms would conform to the predictions of the model. And I believe my work with Ken Hendricks of Wisconsin established that the models were indeed predictive. The point of my work in detecting collusion is that in order to do so, you need to tailor the methods you use to the individual circumstances. That collusion manifests itself in a variety of different ways. And the point of the methods is to essentially provide descriptions of situations where collusive conduct can be distinguished from more competitive behavior. Examples in which I've done so would include school milk auctions. I continue to work with Ken Hendricks at Wisconsin and a former student, Phil Hale, at Yale, where we're looking at recent bidding, again, for oil and gas lease auctions, where behavior is quite different than it has been in the more distant past. And we're interested in detecting collusion again, and more generally thinking about whether the selling mechanism could be redesigned to achieve better outcomes. The field itself, I think, is growing in a variety of different directions. A number of people are involved, and IO tools are being brought to the study of healthcare markets, school choice, environmental or energy markets, in a variety of settings. I'm actually excited to see what's going on in the field these days.